Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I wanted to go through my kind of top 10 green beauty products. So if you were someone maybe thinking about starting to get into green beauty or anything like that, these 10 products I would definitely recommend. They've worked really well for me. Obviously I'm very aware products work differently from other people, but for me these have been really nice products to try. I know like green beauty products some of them can be a little bit expensive because obviously, well, depending on where you are in the UK, you can't really go into a shop and try things out easily, which is annoying because obviously, like I said, some products can be a little bit pricey, but there are sites where they do offer samples, so definitely take advantage of that, especially when it comes to the base products, because that's the one thing, especially foundation, I've struggled to find a good foundation that's really worked for my skin, skin type and stuff, and has lasted well throughout the day and kind of colour match wise and things like that. So definitely getting samples is a great place to start. Great like websites I kind of shop from great to find kind of green beauty things. You've got things like Naturissimo. It has a bunch of different brands on there. I don't know if all brands are green beauty, but definitely has a great bunch of green beauty brands on there. Same with Love Lula. Then you've got Glow Organics from Brighton, which do like the Jane Iredale and stuff like that, and they do samples. And then you've got things like, there is a 100% Pure UK website, and there is things like THB have their own UK website as well. So trying to pick up samples if you can instead of full size to test them out first. Or sometimes they do like Inica, they had that little foundation trial kit I tested out and things like that. It's definitely a better way to do it and things. And also looking at reviews, people's reviews on the website or other YouTube videos of people reviewing it. There's loads of green beauty kind of influencers out there and stuff like that. That are probably really good to go and look for. And especially with base makeup, you want to try and find someone who does have a similar skin type to you. I mean, even still, someone who has like a similar skin type to me, the products won't always necessarily work, but it's definitely a good indicator if you find someone who's got the same skin type of you, just particularly when it comes to the skin products, and you know kind of roughly what definitely doesn't work for them, so you probably want to stay away from that and stuff like that, and kind of what does work for them, maybe you can try out and things like that. So I'm not saying with these 10 products you have to go and buy them. I'm just saying I really enjoy these products. I think they work really nicely, and maybe if you wanted to start with green beauty, there are a few here that might be quite nice to try out. So I'm going to go in quite a logical order. So I'm going to start kind of how I would apply it to the face. So obviously the first thing would be my 100% Pure Luminous Primer. I will leave the prices of them on the screen because I don't know off the top of my head, in all honesty. This is a luminous primer. It's got vitamins and antioxidants, 100% natural, 100% vegan, obviously. I really like this primer. It's very luminous on the skin. Now I have oily combination skin, but I do like really glowy skin. So I just try and target this kind of more to my cheek area, kind of more the perimeters. Try and stay away from the T-zone area, especially my chin and especially the nose area. I kind of just put whatever's left on my hands just gently across those areas, and just make sure I set with powder afterwards. But yeah, so I really like this. If you're someone who obviously has oily skin but so wants a matte finish, this isn't for you. But if you've got someone who maybe has dry skin and you like that glow, you like that kind of youthful freshness, this luminous primer is really nice. And you don't need too much in one go, just like a pump and a half, and it does spread really nicely over the skin and stuff like that. It's kind of like a second moisturiser, and just gives a real nice glow underneath the foundation, or just if you're just having it by itself. It's a really nice kind of glowy product to have. So the next product is actually a 2-in-1, which is perfect, and you can get samples of this. I tested that sample before I got this, and it was recommended by a lot of you guys actually who watch me a lot, and it's the Hint Beauty Concealer. So this is their Duet Perfecting Concealer. I have mine in Fair. They have a few shades of this. They don't have a lot of shades, I will say that actually now. Unfortunately, they only had 6 shades of this, ranging from fair to deep. But I can tell you now, the deep is not very deep at all. So that's something that's actually not so great about this product, is the lack of shade range and things like that. So I use this as a concealer and as a tinted moisturiser. It's only a recent thing, the tinted moisturiser I've discovered, but I really have been enjoying it. So I kind of, sometimes I will mix it, I'll pop some of the primer on the back of my hand, I'll mix my brush in with the concealer and mix it onto the back of my hand to create the tinted moisturiser. I put on my skin. Sometimes I'll do it with my actual moisturiser, it just depends. But this goes a long way. So yeah, I'll do that with sometimes to create the tinted moisturiser, and then I'll go in with it as a concealer. And I use your fingers and it gives a nice light layer like under the eyes maybe. Or you can go in the brush. I tend to go in my Real Techniques brush or some kind of like dense concealer brush, and it will pick up a lot of products. You only need to dab in once and it will give you a lot of coverage and yeah, product to areas maybe where you want more coverage. So for me, it's my chin area that definitely needs it. So that's something to bear in mind. But so because the little goes a long way, it's going to last me a reasonable amount of time. So it doesn't look like there's loads in there, but like I said, you only use a small amount and it goes a long way. So yeah, I really enjoy this for my tinted moisturiser and as my concealer. So it's a kind of perfect 2-in-1. Like I said, the only bad thing about it is the real kind of lack of shades that it comes in. So next would be the RMS Beauty Unpowder. This is a really unusual texture, as I mentioned before. It's a real kind of, almost like a chalky, I don't know how Emily described it, as like almost like icy sugar texture. It's very, very finely milled. It just comes, I think they might do a tinted powder. I'm not entirely sure. I think next time I might try the tinted one out just to see what it's like, because this can be quite brightening under the eyes, even though it's meant to be transparent, but it does give a slight highlighted effect. But it's a very weird texture powder. You only need a small amount, and it goes a long way, and it does keep my oils at bay really well throughout the day, especially in my T-zone area. So I actually use it with my Real Techniques sponge, especially for the eye, under eyes and the chin. I'll just kind of pack it on, take a bit, pack it on, and then I'll get like my setting brush from Real Techniques and just make sure I dust it all away in those areas. So that just really, the packing motion of the sponge helps to really set everything in place and like kind of block those oils. And then the powder just blends it out and just gets rid of any excess. Okay, moving on to bronzer. It was a tough choice between two, but I decided to go with the 100% Pure 100% Pure Cocoa Pigmented Bronzer. I have my Cocoa Gem. Again, only 3 shades this. I have to say actually, Green Beauty shade ranges aren't the best. I haven't actually looked at the 100% Pure foundation, so I was kind of eyeing them up, and I haven't checked out the shade ranges of those. But a lot of Green Beauty products don't necessarily cater to the kind of deeper skin tones, which isn't great at all. And I don't know why that is, and maybe now because so many more brands are trying to be more, are bringing out a lot of shade ranges, especially with foundations and stuff like that. I'm hoping the Green Beauty industry kind of starts doing that as well. I could be wrong. There could be like brands out there that do really cater well to different skin tones. If there are and you know any, please let me know down below, so obviously I can start looking into them and stuff. But the ones I've looked at, not so much. The ones I've seen anyway. So yeah, this 100% Pure bronzer, as you can see, I'm really kind of near the end of this one. So this is the lightest shade they do. For me, it has a sheen to it, so it gives that kind of natural glow. I'm not wearing any now of this. I don't know what I'm wearing on my cheeks. But let's see if I can show you. So I'm just going to take some. Just dust over. You can kind of see it's got a golden undertone almost. So it gives a nice golden hue to the skin. And I really loved it, especially during the summer. It was my favourite. So it just gives the extra glow to the skin, because like I said, despite being oily in combination, I do like to have that glow in the skin. Between this one and my Lily Lolo Miami Beach, but I think I do most of the time prefer the glow and the shine to my skin. So the 100% Pure Luminous, I keep on saying Luminous Primer, 100% Pure Cocoa Pigmented Bronzer is a really nice bronzer. Speaking of highlighters, I think you could probably guess my favourite highlighters, and they are from Lily Lolo. Now the one I have been reaching to the most at the moment is actually the shade Champagne. They have Champagne, Rose and Bronze, I think it's called. I got Rose and Champagne. Rose is a more of a new edition. I've always had Champagne. Rose I tend to, now we're heading more into winter, I probably will dig into more rose, but for summer and for the summertime I have been using champagne stuff, and it's a really nice kind of, yeah, golden champagne, but it works really nicely. There's no glitter or shimmer to it. It is purely a sheen on the skin. Let's actually, again, let's apply this to my skin. I mean, I'm already wearing highlighter, but add a bit more. Which is this? And again, I'm almost running out of this one. Oh yeah. And like I said, I really love it because there's no glitter, no shimmer. I really don't like it, especially, I don't mind a little bit of shimmer on my highlighter, but if it's like really chunky and almost too noticeable on the skin, I don't like it. But if it's just like more of a sheen and it looks like my skin's actually glowing, then yeah, it's really, really nice. I will say that actually, of all the green beauty brands I've tried, Lily Lolo, it was the first one I ever tried, but it's also my very favourite green beauty brand. There have been barely any products I've been disappointed with. There have been a few, I will say. I think it's quite hard to find a brand that every product you will like and like works for you, but definitely the majority of the products from Lily Lolo just work for me, and I really, really like them. So yeah, the illuminators from Lily Lolo are definitely one of my favourite illuminators, not just green beauty wise, across all my cruelty free makeup, by far one of my favourites. Okay, so kind of moving away from skin now, moving more to the eye area. I'm going to start with eyebrows, and I think, again, I think we know what eyebrow product I'm going to mention because it's actually the only one I use anyway. It's the Lily Lolo Eyebrow Duo in dark. I did have medium, and actually because I've been like, my colour hair has gone a bit lighter recently, I kind of wish I had medium again, but dark suits me better. I do have dark hair. My eyebrows, when they're not filled in, are very cool toned and things like that, so the dark does suit it better. I just think I could have got away with the medium whilst I had slightly lighter brown hair, but no, I really like the texture of this. I don't really use the wax, in all honesty. I use like a brow gel first, and then I'll go in with this. I kind of switch between my Barry M brow gel and also my Avada brow gel, both transparent, but they kind of, I like putting it through first because it sets the brows in place, gets them to the shape I want, and then I go in with the brow powder, and it makes it so much easier to fill in my brows, because also if my brows are still slightly wet from the brow gel, it makes the powder go a lot further and a long way, so I'm using less of it, which is great. So yeah, I really, really like this powder. Going on to the actual eyes, I'm going to start with eye primer. Again, it's Lily Lolo, but that's the only eye primer I ever use. Mine is a bit messed up, I'm not going to lie. You can see it really has been dented into that side. This side is for if you have like discoloration in your eyes that you want to really cover up. Otherwise, you can just go in with this one, like a normal eye primer. So this is the one I use. I don't really use this one. And as you can see, the mirror is a mess because the actual yellow one falls out of mine. It's not stuck down properly, which is annoying, obviously. So packaging wise, that's not great. I think it's just where the glue, yeah, hasn't been stuck down properly at all. So I don't know if it is the same for all the eye primers, but this one certainly is. But yeah, it just really helps blank out the eyes, creates a nice canvas for your eyeshadows. I don't set it, so eyeshadows really kind of cling, right, so it clings on, so you get the nice pigmentation, but also you're able to blend out the eyeshadow. So it's not too sticky where, yeah, you pop the eyeshadow in, the colour's there, but then it's hard to move out. It will blend out as well, which is obviously what we want in an eye primer. So I really enjoy this. I did a whole Green Beauty eye primer testing video, which I'll leave a link down below in case you're interested. So I tested out a bunch of Green Beauty eye primers, and this by far came out on top. So yeah, I would recommend. So if you're someone who really is into eyeshadow, doing cool fun looks or just neutral looks in general, but really loves eyeshadows and playing with them, and you want everything to look smooth, go on nicely, I would really recommend the Lily Lolo eye primer. Talking of eyeshadows, this was a hard one because I was tossed up between a few, But the one I've picked for this video is the 100% Pure Naked Palette. Now in particular Naked 2, I like it because it's got the darker tones. I've got the first Naked and this Naked 2 obviously. They've got some other eyeshadow palettes, but this is definitely my favourite. Very neutral tones but slightly deeper, so you can go in lightly for a day look, but you can really kind of deepen it for a night out look type thing. It's really nice because obviously it's got a blusher and a highlighter in here as well. But yeah, I really like the colours of these. They blend on really nicely, have real nice pigmentation. Admittedly, the eyeshadows aren't matte. This one is the closest to a matte, but it does have a slight sheen. One popped up on the eye, but I don't mind that at all. I think it can look really, really pretty. And actually, I might just do, because I haven't got any eyeshadow on now, I might do a quick eye look for you. So, let's go in the eye primer first. I'll also do a very simple look using all those colours. So you can see it does blank out the eyes really nicely. So I'm going to start with middle shade first. It's the shade Splendor, the one that's more towards the matte side. Not completely, but it is more of the matte colour. So I'm going to pick it up on a crease brush, this Lily Lolo. And I'm going to start popping this through the crease area. And I'm winging it out as well because I do like to wing out my eyeshadow. Okay, then I'm going to take the shade Beam, this one here, on a flat brush this time. And this is going to go in the inner portion of the eye. You can wet those as well if you want to, but I'm not going to. I quite like how it is. Then finally I'm going to take the very dark shade Vivid, I believe, yeah, on a smaller fluffy brush. This has got more of a purple shade actually, which just kind of makes it more of an evening base look. And I'm going to work this onto the outer portion of the lid. Just blend it slightly into the crease. Quite a dark tone, so you can have that smokiness to your eyes, but it's not. It is a purple shade, which I like. So it's a bit different from a black. Something like that. I'm not sure it quite goes with the lip colour, but yeah, you can use those first two shades just to create a nice day look, and then the shade Vivid kind of really amps it up for an evening look. Like I said, it's definitely my favourite colour out of the palette, and you have got a blush in here as well and highlighter, which are really nice as well. So, okay, what was left? Oh, so I've got two things left, so number 9 and number 10. So it's moving on to lips, and I have to say lip liner, hands down, Lily Lola lip liner. In particular soft nude, that's always the one I go for. It needs a good sharpening. It's just a nice, can I get any out? Yeah, it's a nice creamy lip liner. It's a nice peachy tone nude, which tends to be my favourite kind of nudes to go for. Sometimes I wear it alone. I just pop it around my lips and also all over the lips as a kind of a lipstick type thing. It works really nicely, or you can pair a lipstick on top and it will last really nicely throughout the day. They do these in two other colours, Ruby Red, which I have, and there's a pink one. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a nice kind of vibrant pink one. So they all kind of go with the theme of the lipsticks. So the lipsticks range from nude to pink to red, and then there is like deeper tones as well, which is this one here. This is Berry Crush from Lily Lolo. But yeah, so I really do like their lip liners. And the final 10th thing I'd recommend is lipstick. And actually, I was kind of toying up whether I wanted to go the Lily Low lipsticks, but obviously I know I'm wearing one right now. I know it's glossy, but usually I'm much more of a matte lip girl, as if you've been watching me for a while you will know that. So if you are someone who does prefer the glossiness, then definitely go Lily Low, because these are really nice. They come in, like I said, nude colours as well. This is the shade Berry Crush. I fancy going something a bit darker because obviously now it's coming more into the fall season and stuff. But my lipstick of choice is the 100% Pure ones. So these are the, I believe they're called like the Cocoa Butter Matte lipsticks. I have 3 shades. 2 kind of nudie ones, one's more pink, so Pink Canyon, which is that one there, it's really nice. Sandstone, which I was told by a lovely friend of mine that the woman who owns 100% Pure doesn't like the shade. She thinks this is an ugly shade, but because the only reason she makes it is because it's a very popular shade, but she actually herself thinks it's a really ugly shade, which I'm so surprised at because I really like it. It's a peachy tone nude. Again, that's kind of my nudes to go for. And it pairs really nicely with most looks. So, yeah, I think it's a really nice nude. So I don't know why she said that. And then the last colour I've got is more of the fun one. The shade Marrakesh. Yeah. Beautiful kind of pink purple lip, really nice. They're creamy but they are matte, so they do give nice, they have got a nice movability on the lips. They're not something like drying like a liquid lipstick, but they do have a nice matte finish to them, which I really like. So, but yeah, if you're definitely more of a glossy girl, go these lipsticks instead. I think they're really nice. So those are my kind of 10 favourite Green Beauty products that I love and I would recommend to other people, as I think they work really nicely. And especially if you're someone who is thinking about starting to Green Beauty, I would think maybe hopefully you find some ideas of kind of what products are nice, and also hear about what kind of brands are out there that are Green Beauty as well. I'll leave everything linked down below. I'll leave different websites you can go on to. I forgot to mention, obviously in the US you can get Petit Four, which apparently is really good, and actually Petit Four does ship over to the UK as well. But I'll leave lists of different distributors and things down below, UK based and overseas based, and also all these products down below. And again, if you know any Green Beauty brands that do really good shade ranges of like foundations, concealers and stuff, please let me know down below, because obviously, like I said, the brands I've tried and have looked into don't seem to have the biggest shade range. Like I said, I haven't actually looked at the shade range of the 100% Pure foundations because I was tempted to try out the different ones. So I haven't actually looked at that. But like I said, the Hint Beauty 6 shades come from fair to deep. The deep is nowhere near deep, which is a shame, obviously. So yeah, leave me those down below. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, found it helpful in some way and got to know what my favourites are and things like that. Let me know what your favourite Green Beauty products are down below and your favourite brands and things like that. And yeah, I really hope you have enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Leave any requests down below and I'll see you in my next video.